This episode of American Landlord, a tenant horror story, is presented by RealSerious.com, where you can screen tenants 24 hours a day. A multi-unit building can often be a great investment opportunity for a landlord. But the more tenants you house concurrently, even for just a 4-unit building, the greater the chances of a problem occurring among them. This is because neighbors in close proximity can kind of get on each other's nerves for a number of reasons. And that's exactly what happened recently up north with this one tenant who lived alone in one of the furnished units. Apparently, the other tenants were bothered by the fact that the lone tenant was a bit too loud at times. So they did what typical tenants are supposed to do. They reported the nuisance to their landlord. After all, the law generally provides the people with the right to enjoy their homes peacefully. So the landlord paid a visit to the lone tenant and explained there was a complaint and asked him if he could quiet things down and he was just too loud. Well, ironically, he didn't want to hear it, and he actually became quite upset and gave such a disturbing look to the landlord that he ended up leaving with a very uneasy feeling, worrying about what might happen. So as the first of the month approached, things had quieted down and there were no more complaints. But there was also no more rent. So the landlord stopped by to pay another visit, and that's when he discovered the tenant had taken his personal belongings and abandoned the unit. But that's not all. As the landlord opened the door, he was struck by the worst stench of shit you could imagine. Shit was everywhere. There was shit on the walls, shit on the carpeting, and remember, this was a furnished unit, so now the furniture was just shitty. The stench had overwhelmed the landlord, and the unit was unbearable. Everything had to go, but the problem was, he could find no one willing to clean it. So the landlord had to stay in this shit, but could only tolerate it for an hour at a time. It took him 3 weeks to clean and deodorize it. Now that's some serious shit.